This is John Sullivan, and John Sullivan is an exhibitor here at the Easton Waterfowl Festival in Easton, Maryland. John, you've been an exhibitor for how many years?
I guess it's about 40 years now.
40 years. And tell us about your exhibit, please.
Okay, what I've brought along today, I have decoys from one family's decoy rig, representing three different carvers: Charles Nelson Bernard from Haverty Grass, James T. Holly from Haverty Grass, and Robert F. McGaw, all Haverty Grass carvers. There was about 400 decoys originally in this rig. I did get most of those decoys over many years of collecting. And so I've examples of all canvasbacks that were in their rig. They had other species, but I'm exhibiting canvasbacks. And the earliest ones probably are from about 1880.
Wow.
If I could point to a couple of them, these are the most famous, the high neck decoys by Charles Nelson Bernard from the Pusey rig. And if you look at this image of young John Pusey here, you'll notice this decoy sitting on the front of his sink box, sort of leaning this way. You can see the high neck on it. And the sink box was the most deadly of the gunning devices. It was a coffin-like hole in the middle of a flat surface boat. You can see it there in that image. And John Pusey was 14 years old when that image was taken, and his mother put that in the family photograph album that John had shot his limit, although only 14. There was some confusion in my photographs I've exhibited. There's some turtles up here, and one lady did ask me what kind of ducks they were, and I said, well, they're the amphibious model with 4 legs, and a nice tail and a big head. But the Puseys, they shot a lot of birds, they caught a lot of fish, and they harvested a lot of snapping turtles.
Tell us about the flats near the Susquehanna River.
Their property on Swan Creek outside of Aberdeen was just a few miles from the Susquehanna Flats, one of the largest migratory bird stops as the birds would head south, and thousands and thousands of ducks were harvested there each gunning season. The sink box that they gunned out of was outlawed in 1934 because it was such an effective method of harvesting fowl. But on opening day, many of these hunters would kill 150 to 300 ducks out of one of those rigs.
Wow.
One thing that changed it was when they arrived in Haverty Grass in about 1840, the sink box that is, they were gunning out of muzzle-loading shotguns. And with the advent of the pump shotgun and the automatic shotgun, it changed the whole game, and they became too deadly.
And you've written books about this, John, right?
11 and a half. I say 11 and a half because one I co-authored with the director of the Haverty Grass Decoy Museum.
And could you name some of the books for us, please?
Well, most recently, a history of the Bishop's Head Ducking Club, which is further down the bay, about 30 miles below Cambridge. I did a history of the Swan Island Ducking Club in North Carolina. And the bestseller is Waterfowling on the Chesapeake, 1819 to 1936, because the first organized ducking club in the state was in 1819 at Maxwell's Point, which is now part of the Edgewood Arsenal Aberdeen Proving Ground Complex in Harford County.
Well, John, I can't commend you all enough, the exhibitors here in the Easton High School, who are showing all these artifacts. Every year you all come to show the history of waterfowl here on the Eastern Shore, and it's a lot of devotion and time, and I commend you on that.
Well, I'm happy to be a part of it for all these years, and we worry now what we're going to do next year. Will I have anything left to bring?
After 30-some years.
Thank you.
Thank you.